Wednesday, the 5th of August, 2015. Welcome. It's a very beautiful day. Good morning to everybody watching us and everybody set to watch us. We are back here. This is CROSSFIRE. This is Channel 196 on Star Times. My name is Dapo Banjo. We'll be running the show as usual. We have a very, very important package for you today. And I know you just want to stay glued to your television and be sure you're part of our discussion. And this morning, I am not alone. As usual, I have never been alone in the studio. Ishoma is with me, and we'll be running the show together as usual.
Good morning and welcome to CROSSFIRE today.
Ishoma Againe, it sounds like you're playing music, you know.
I hope you don't want us to repeat what happened yesterday and have another CROSSFIRE on a beautiful Wednesday morning.
Anyway, we have a gentleman who is joining us in the show this morning, and we still be talking about national issues. And this person is someone that I know is very passionate when it comes to national issues, is a pro-Nigerian. Sometimes it tilts towards a particular form of opposition, but notwithstanding, he's balanced, very, very balanced in his analysis, and it's someone that I know when it comes to really defending his point, you know, it can be very aggressive too. But he's a gentleman, he's my friend, and we've been doing business together on this show, and we'll be doing the same this morning as usual. Let us welcome this very special guest of ours, Victor Okhai. Victor, how are you doing this morning?
Welcome to CROSSFIRE.
Good to have you on CROSSFIRE
I'm
again.
fine, but you have created a bundle of contradictions for me.
How?
First of all, you say I'm unbiased, and you said I am tilted towards.
Yeah,
and then you say I'm aggressive, and you call me a gentleman. Now I don't even know what I don't.
Sometimes it's good to play
I'm
with
like a split personality.
That means you always balance it, you know, a gentleman but very aggressive, and then somebody who is very, you know, unbiased, and at the same time it tilts towards a particular ideology.
That is good.
It's just a balance. It's just a balance. Victor, welcome to CROSSFIRE.
Welcome to CROSSFIRE.
All right. We have business to do this morning, really and truly. Yesterday, myself and Ishoma, we were here, and I mean, some issues came up. We basically discussed on a very sensitive issue, and just on a lighter note, you know, I just hope you will not have to hound down on me. You know, we were just basically thinking about.
Much to yourself today, so
you know,
it's fine.
We're just definitely talking about you know, the probe, you know, the ongoing probe of past administration, and as it's intended, you know, seemingly intended by the president to ensure that past administration and the officers who served were probed, and then whatever amount of money, or Nigerians' money that has been kept somewhere or stacked in strange places should be recovered and pushed back into the economy, so that the new government can have, you know, funds to work with and do the things that they want to do. Now, first of all, let me ask you, what's your position on, you know, probing past administration, and if really and truly you support that past administrations should be probed? To what extent? Should it stop on Yar'Adua, or should it stop on Jonathan, or should it go as far back as Obasanjo, or maybe Abdulsalami Abubakar, maybe even IBB?
Probably 1918, whichever.
Or going back in the.
Well, the issues are simple, really. For criminal trials or criminal prosecution, it's not tenured. If a man has stolen, no matter how long, if it's discovered, he will come to justice. You understand? Yeah. And it's our collective patrimony, our wealth, and if anyone has mismanaged it, it stands to reason that only naturally they should be called to order.
So you actually support that there should be a probe?
Yes. So I have no problem with a probe. I don't, by itself and of itself, there's nothing wrong with a probe. Huh?
Okay.
But what I do have a problem is when you select, you know, then it becomes some form of victimization, because obviously what you're trying to do... Do
you have any classical example? Yes.
Let me explain. Okay. You have used the word, I mean, you said, when we talk about time, it means if I can decide, look, if I don't like your face, then I can decide to use probe to witch hunt you. And then my friends, I can cover them and decide, you know, to ignore them. You understand what I'm saying? And so that is what I feel is not fair.
Maybe wrong with it.
Exactly. Secondly, you might find a situation where the probe may not extend to the extent it should, because if it gets to some extent, it might open up another can of worms, and it may swallow, if you excuse my use of the language, the probers, quote unquote.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So I feel first, if we're coming before equity, we should come with clean hands.
But then the probe is based on the report, the handover notes which were given by the past, immediate past administration to the new administration. So, I mean, when you say witch hunting, their probe is based on the facts and figures they were given. So I don't think witch hunting is the case here.
No, I mean, the argument has been made. Okay, the previous administration should have approved the administrations before and all that. Remember, I have nothing against the probe. You understand? But I do not think that if this probe is done thoroughly, that it will not go beyond, objectively. You know why? You will look at, let's look at petroleum industry, for instance.
Okay.
How were some of the oil wells allocated, for instance, oil blocks? How were they allocated? Was there, how do I put it now?
Special consideration?
Well, not even special consideration. Was due process followed? Even the people who got it, are they working in terms with, because some of them are just, if you like, they're just middlemen who collect these things, and other people are doing the job. You understand? There's so much to it. There's quite a lot to all of these things. So I think that when you start these things, there is no way, and I mean what I'm saying, that you will start these probes, that these probes will not extend beyond the immediate past administration.
All right.
But if you have categorically said,
position,
I am not interested in what happened before, then you're foreclosing an opportunity to dig deeper into something. Because if you look at a tree is not a tree without its roots.
Very true.
And the root that you see is not even the ones you see on the surface. They go deep, deep down.
Deep down, very true.
Exactly. And so it is, when you start from there, you will be able to begin to trace.
But I think President Muhammadu Buhari was aware of this position, and that was why he also said that he would spare no individual, even if those individuals are within his political party, he would not spare them.
We pray the Lord.
Because like we said, we both agreed on the show yesterday. I mean, I was born to knowing some certain individuals who are still in politics today, who have been in politics for the past number of years. So I mean, I think this probe is necessary as long as
we agreed on that.
I don't think this is based on witch hunt.
Probe, yes. Nobody has a problem with it. You don't have a problem with it.
No.
He doesn't. I don't.
We totally support it.
So that's not the issue.
Okay.
The issue is segmenting or limiting that probe. I think it should be left open-ended. Start with what you have, leave it open-ended, and if it takes you beyond,
continue.
Of course we do that. You know why?
Okay.
And you know why? Because even the current president, don't forget, in the petroleum sector, he has been Minister of Petroleum before. He has been in charge of Petroleum Trust Fund. He has been president, which means he has been overall in charge of petroleum.
No, don't worry. We'll definitely come there.
So you're indirectly saying also that the probe should extend to his former administration.
If I were him, if I have nothing to hide, I'll just make it open. Don't forget, he made a statement. He said, what do you call it now? Abacha's regime was not a corrupt regime. He said so.
Okay.
He defended him. He defended his former boss, who was also his junior. You understand what I'm saying? He defended him, okay? And if you defend him, obviously you don't want to probe him. All Nigerians agree that that was a corrupt regime. But he defended and said, no, he was not a corrupt regime.
All right. Yesterday, let's quickly move on here.
Yeah.
We're actually looking at a few appointments with focus, on, the appointment at the NNPC, for the NNPC, the new group managing director. And that's what we'll be talking about. But we will be considering the 6-point reference that the president actually handed over to him to focus on. And first of all, I mean, it is very worthy to note that this gentleman, let's quickly take a look at his pedigree. And a couple of things he's been able to achieve and what qualifies him to actually occupy this position. And then we will find out if the person that he is able to, to bring, to pass the 6 point of reference that the president has given him. All right. Yesterday we have Emmanuel KACHIKWU, a doctor of law, graduated from, with distinctions from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and the best graduating student from the law school.
First class,
yeah.
At UNN.
Yes.
Best graduating student in what do you call it now? In the law school, went to Harvard, finished his LLM, best graduate.
Let's just, when he was in the law school, he won 7 of the available 9 prizes in 1999. He holds an LLM Harvard distinction and was best graduate in 1980 with specialization in energy, petroleum law, and investment. KACHIKWU set a record with a PhD/SJD Harvard distinction, specializing in petroleum and investment law strategies after completing his doctorate thesis in a record time with a H diploma, that's a higher diploma TL from Georgetown, the United States of America. The new NNPC chief executive is a fellow of the Society of Corporate Governance, Chartered Institute of Arbitration, Chartered Institute for Petroleum Policy, and a visiting professor in various universities in the world, including Harvard School of Law. His alma mater. Now, KACHIKWU has more than 30 years experience in policy-making positions in petroleum industry, including general counsel, legal advisor, Texaco Nigeria and Texaco Overseas Petroleum. He did this between 1984 and 1994. That's a record straight of 10 years. General counsel, secretary, Mobil Producing Nigeria Limited, and executive director, ExxonMobil Group of Companies in 2003. He has been the executive vice chairman and general counsel, ExxonMobil Companies in Nigeria, and oversight counsel, Exxon Companies in Africa since 2009. His accomplishments include the authorship of several law books. He authored the bestseller Nigerian Foreign Investment Law and Policy, more than 20 publications. KACHIKWU influenced over $10 billion investment from ExxonMobil Group into Nigeria and other African countries. It is on record that he said major policy plans on government relationship, investment policy, and corporate governance while still working with ExxonMobil, and particularly ExxonMobil in Africa. Now, this man, we can continue, to talk about his pedigree and so many things he's been able to achieve for himself.
I don't think any of us is qualified to comment on him. Otherwise, what more can you ask for?
Exactly.
That's simply like saying the best of the best.
Exactly.
What else can you ask for?
Now, my challenge is that, if really and truly, KACHIKWU is this person that we just described.
Really
yes, that we just described. Trust me. How come we didn't reserve the best, for a ministerial position? And instead of a GMD, does that mean we still have some personalities, that are still probably higher pedigree, maybe not pedigree, maybe a higher qualification and experience than he is?
No, I may share your sympathy, but don't forget, you need a technocrat to run that particular, because that's more operational.
Yeah.
At the ministerial level.
But he's been an operational person.
But that's within the ambit of the law.
Yeah, this is more hands-on. Yeah. Ministerial positions, you have technocrats as well, but the politicians, that's where a lot of them, you understand what I'm saying? That's where the lobby and that's where the forte is. Although I'm waiting to see that man whose hands will be clean enough,
to stand in that.
Exactly. And again, don't rule out this. Tomorrow, because there might be mergers of ministries, you might not have a pure Ministry of Petroleum Affairs anymore. The president might decide to handle the petroleum portfolio directly, just like Obasanjo did. But when you have a man like KACHIKWU on the seat, this is a man with you can see, just going through his pedigree, what can you say? That's like you have brought somebody to overhaul things because he has an understanding. First of all, he's a Nigerian, okay? Homegrown. He grew up here, he lived among us.
Exactly.
He only went to school outside, came back, and has been operating in this environment, not just in Nigeria, but around, the
even
continent.
in Africa, yeah.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, around the continent. And he knows the industry. He's dealt with NNPC. You understand what I'm saying? So he knows what's going on. He understands the politics. So if there's going to be any overhaul of this industry, what better person to you?
So you think all of this will also help us, most especially, translate to positive results for the NNPC? Because for me, I think that's the most important thing. It's not just about the pedigree.
I know that God is willing,
that there were
but
three
politicians willing.
No, but I heard that there were 3 people who actually qualified for the job.
But then he beat all of them.
But he beat all of them to it. So, I mean, to a very large extent, it simply means Nigeria.
I can't imagine a better qualified person among the 3. Others should be qualified, but I can't imagine. Just look at the pedigree.
I mean, it's really,
awesome.
It stands out. It stands out, you know, and all of that. Now, my concern is this. I mean, coming at a time as this, you know, before we go on break, let's quickly establish this. Coming at a time like this, where the oil and gas industry in Nigeria is battered, beaten, almost, you know, to comatose, and the president is looking forward to a robust time where our oil becomes, you know, like a particular mainstay again for government, so that we can do a lot of things and all of that. Now, my question is this: having, you know, appointed someone to take the position of the general, you know, or the group, you know, MD for NNPC. Do you think the president is putting machineries in place to allow him have, you know, an enabling environment to be able to do this job, knowing fully well that he has not. I mean, that KACHIKWU never really held any public, you know, office, you know, in Nigeria before. Now, because the reason why I'm asking this question is very simple. We're talking about politics. We're talking about politics here. We're talking about players who have been in the industry for so long.
I will say
he has operated from the public sector.
I will say this to you.
Okay.
If the president is bringing a brain like that,
yes,
to put in a place like that, and if he does not back him up, it is the president's failing.
Okay.
It would be foolhardy to have a man like that and not back him up. Remember
and
the kind of backing.
The operations free hand also to do
the free hands and the necessary moral backing. You understand? And you will recall that what Obasanjo did, I like to use as an example, what he did with El-Rufai, the Federal Capital Territory, and what do you call him? What's his name? No.
The master plan of
EFCC.
Okay.
Ribadu. You know,
he gave them free hands.
Yes, because these were people who were coming from outside the civil service. They were coming from the private sector. No, well, not Ribadu. Of course, was coming from. It was a policeman. But these were people who were, if you like, almost like outsiders coming in, and a lot of people were attacking them because, of course, what they were doing was unpopular. The El-Rufai was going to make sure that the integrity of the Abuja master plan was restored. And you couldn't do that without stepping on toes. And you needed that backing in order to be able to go forward. But if in doing that job, people go to report to Baba, and Baba is saying, El-Rufai, why did you, my friends, then of course, even he will lose the moral right.
All right, let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we'll be analyzing in detail the 6-point reference that the president handed over to Emmanuel Ibe, KACHIKWU, the new general, the group MD of NNPC. When we come back, we'll be looking at this, you know, vis-a-vis the environment where we have found ourselves.
And the expectations,
of Nigerians
most
in the
especially.
industry. Exactly. We'll be right back.
So, did you like what you just saw? I know you did. It's very simple. If you want to see more, just subscribe to our channel right now.